The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to another QuoteWerks 101, our regular series of short presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of QuoteWerks. And in this session, I'm going to cover some ideas on how to make sure you include your terms and conditions with every sales quote that you send out through QuoteWerks, of course. So hello, my name is Tim Wilmot, and my company, Wizard Systems, we're a specialist CRM system supplier who help out mainly small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales productivity, marketing, and customer service through the use of simple solutions and affordable solutions like QuoteWerks. Now, this presentation will be about 10 minutes or so, just an overview of these different ideas on how to include your T's and C's within your quotes. There could be many more options for you, different other options on the setup of your QuoteWerks system, and my company, Wizard Systems, would be pleased to discuss any of those ideas in more detail with you. So please contact us for more information on anything that you hear about in this presentation. The audio part of the call is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Also, at the end, I'll give you an update on current QuoteWerks product news as of mid-February 2021. And for those of you listening live, this is being recorded. You'll get a link to the recording that you can play back as often as you want to, and it will be up on our YouTube channel as well. Just a brief mention about Wizard Systems. We have been providing QuoteWerks solutions now for well over 15 years. We've put it into many different types and sizes of organizations. We provide the complete service around QuoteWerks, the product, upgrades, implementation, training, and help desk support. Okay, let's get into QuoteWerks then and talk about how do you include your terms and conditions. So this is QuoteWerks. Anyone that's familiar with QuoteWerks will recognize this straight away. Here we are showing our key information about our products and the products that we're quoting for. The first typical way that, or the most common way in which you would include your terms and conditions is that when you've saved your quote and you're ready to send your quote to the customer, then you obviously click on the deliver button, and within the literature tab here, you'll be able to include your terms and conditions. So there's a literature folder in your QuoteWerks implementation, and that's where you can include a Word document, an RTF file, a PDF file with those terms and conditions in there. So I could tick that box and click on preview here, and this will then provide me a preview so I can just check it before I send it to the customer. So this is what the customer's going to see. There's my quote, and if I just scroll down to here's my attached terms and conditions, as I say, it could be a number of different file types. Now that's just inserted into your literature folder on your QuoteWerks installation. You can, when I go to deliver here, you can set these up as defaults as well so that the user doesn't need to think about including and checking that box there to include that file. That can be all defined within your options in QuoteWerks. And if I go to my print tab here and quote literature here, this is where I can define that as a default item. So now going forwards, that document, those T's and C's are going to be automatically included with every single quotation. The other option of including your terms and conditions, probably a simpler way, if you've got very simple T's and C's, is to utilize one of the notes boxes on the key information about the quote, one of the notes boxes for that purpose. So I've requisitioned this field down here. We can change these labels that we give to our users. So I could have put it there, or I do have a custom tab here, again, with a number of different notes boxes that I can change those labels for any specific terms and conditions just for this quote. And they can be set up as defaults as well, so that whenever you create a new quote, it's going to bring in that text. How do you then include it on your quotation? Well, that's going to be included within the layout of your quote. So I go back to my deliver button here and preview this particular quotation. I've got an example of this at the end of the quotation. So I just click on the page 3 here. There it is there. Let me just zoom in a bit more. There we are. If I don't have particularly extensive terms and conditions, you might be able to sneak them in there as part of the layout, and using one or many of the notes boxes on the main quotation details, the header details as they're called, to put in the terms and conditions, which of course you could change. They could be made different then for every single quotation for that particular customer. There is a standard field in QuoteWerks called terms here on that sales info tab. There's one here called terms. That's more normally used for payment terms, okay? So there is a little drop-down list in here of standard terms that you may offer, 15 days, 30 days, for example. Quite a short field. You probably would be unlikely to use that field in there. Now, another option for including or highlighting your terms and conditions is if you're using the Quote Valet add-on to QuoteWerks. Quote Valet is an optional add-on, and this is a really nice way of sharing your quote online with your customer via landing page. So you send out your quote in the normal way. You email out from QuoteWerks to that customer, and within the body of the email is a little hyperlink that takes you to a landing page that you control, that's actually managed and maintained by QuoteWerks. So there's a subscription to this Quote Valet, and that is an HTML landing page. It's a web page. Let me just show you an example of that. Here we are. So this is what the customer would see when they click on that link within the email that's sent out from QuoteWerks. They come to this landing page, and again, you could have that as a bit of text within your quotation, or it could be on the bottom there. And of course, with Quote Valet, that gives you a really nice way of getting the customer commitment to that order, so they can actually place their order directly from that screen. Then you'll get automatic notification from that, and they would have to obviously tick that box to agree to those terms and conditions. So there we are, some very common ways of making sure that you include your terms and conditions on every single quote that you send out. There may be some other less common options for including T's and C's, but those are the main ones there. Now, if you've got any questions around this capability or any other general quotes questions, please type those into your question box. I'll try and answer those before I just give you an update on latest QuoteWerks news as of mid-February 2021. So first question from Tony: can I restrict users from changing the terms? Yes, you can. It's probably easier with the attached file mechanism, certainly very easy with Quote Valet as well. But yes, you can, Tony, depending on where you put them, you can control, you can make sure that your colleagues don't change those terms and conditions. Andrea: we have all of our terms on our web page. How do we link to that? Well, that's going back to my layout and the Quote Valet option. So within the layout, you could actually have a a hyperlink to that in the PDF layout. In the PDF layout that QuoteWerks creates, there could be a little hyperlink there that points that allows the customer to go to that. So yes, that would be within the layout, Andrea. And Ilan, looks like, how do you include the new terms and conditions documents? They're just inserted into your literature folder, wherever your QuoteWerks installation is. Let me just see if I can show you that. Yeah, I've got it here. So within your literature folder, that's where you would put that, and that then would show up when you go to deliver and you click on the literature button there. That's an exact replication of that folder. So quite easily done via that literature folder. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Thanks to the three of you for that. So during the current times, we're doing all of our training online, of course, all of our implementation online, which, to be honest with you, we've been doing a long time now. But if you've got any requirements for any aspect of QuoteWerks training, please contact Wizard Systems for more details. We can give you very interactive one-to-one training wherever you are. We can record the sessions as well, so you can play that back whenever you want to. Please contact us for more information on that. The latest version of QuoteWerks is 5.6, and then within the version, we've got these little mini builds. The latest build is 1.09, came out in early January, I think. Now, the only way of getting updates to QuoteWerks is via the annual upgrade maintenance program, or UMP for short. You can get that from Wizard Systems. It's a low-cost annual fee to make sure that you're always up to date. And through a typical year, there's several updates and builds that provide new features and functions and compatibilities for you to take advantage of. So most of our QuoteWerks customers do have maintenance, and that UMP going forward is a really good idea to make sure you're always up to date. So that's it then on how to include your terms and conditions on your quotes using QuoteWerks software. If you've got any suggestions for future topics that would be of interest to the QuoteWerks community, please get in touch with me or any of us at Wizard Systems. My email address is tim@wizard-systems.com. My name is Tim Wilmot. There's our other contact details there, including our YouTube channel. We see loads of other QuoteWerks videos up there. Go and take a look. But thanks very much for watching. Those watching live, catch up with you hopefully the next week or two with another QuoteWerks topic. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.